Hello and welcome to Voices of the 21st Century Author Spotlight, a show dedicated to sharing the messages of women from around the world who are showing up and sharing their truth. My name is Gail Watson, founder and CEO of Women Speakers Association. Have you ever heard the voice inside you wanting to guide you, but our head will say something different? I know I have. Today, we're going to have a conversation about that and what to do when we feel that conflict between our head and our heart. I have the proud honor of introducing to you today international best-selling author, speaker, and multi-award winning wellness mentor, Hema Vyas. She is co-author of Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World, which has gone bestseller in 4 countries and #1 in 10 different categories. So I'd like you to join me in welcoming Hema to the show.
Hi, Gail. Hi, everyone. Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, so great to have you. And thank you for this terrific story, because you really touch on something that I know we all feel. You know, we hear that little voice inside of us and we go, okay, that's the way, this is what I need to do. But then our head will say something different.
Absolutely.
And in your story, I've read that you go into great detail about how to work through that and how that all comes about within ourselves. But before we get into that, what inspired you to share a story like this?
For me, Gail, I've been doing a lot of talks and a lot of podcasts and a lot of interviews and really sharing with the world my message about the heart and my message about, how we need to use the power and the potential of our hearts in every aspect of our lives. And one of the things that sort of comes across is a need to share a little bit of our own vulnerability, our own journey, and how we ended up on this path, and whatever that path is, on the heart sort of set journey. And so when I got an opportunity, when I met you and Women Speaker Association, and that opportunity arose, I thought this is the sort of environment and the tribe and the amazing women that I want to be connected with. And this is a space to share my story, to get personal and to let people just a little insight. It's just one snapshot, but it was wonderful to be able to share a little snapshot of where my journey began.
I love that. So you claim, in your bio, it talks about that you are an intuitive.
Absolutely.
So have you always felt that, or when was it that you recognized that?
I think it was in that moment. That's why that story about the little girl is so profound for me, because in that moment, my heart opened, and it did more than open. So what I realized, Gail, after I wrote this story, that I look back, and it's only recently in the last week or so that I realized that when I was in India, I was a little girl going to nursery, and this little girl was a friend of mine in that school, in that little nursery. And then I moved to England, and then I went back just to visit my grandparents. And when I saw her, I realized that what felt like we were the same 2 children, 2 little toddlers, if you like. And so much had changed in our lives in 3-4 years that I've been apart. And so when my heart opened up, that intuitive feeling of this is a special moment. It was a snapshot in my psyche that for many years I thought was a trauma, but writing the story, I realized that actually it is the moment when my heart broke open rather than broke. I thought my heart broke in that moment, but my heart opened up and I realized there's more to the world, and there's something here for me to learn, and there's something here for me to do with the world to bring about healing so that we find equity in the world, which we don't have at the moment.
I would agree with you on that. So thank you for really bringing that to the forefront. So Hema, this is what you do in your business. You work with individuals. Is it to help them find their intuition? I mean, are we all born with it, or is it a skill we develop? What is it?
I'd say it's both. But ultimately my sort of belief is very much that our hearts, all of our hearts contain wisdom, and our hearts contain the truth, and our hearts contain the intuitive ability, which is outside of linear time and space. And to really, really tune into why we experience certain things, I feel like when we heal our heartbreaks, when we heal our hidden disappointments and our subconscious thoughts, feelings, beliefs, memories that hold us back, we find that intuition. But that intuition guides us towards really, really being powerful in the world, and to find a way of thriving in the world and being prosperous in the world, which if we all find that within ourselves, then we know that there's enough for everybody, and we no longer need to be in competition. It's no longer survival of the fittest, it's survival of the whole species and survival of the whole organism, which is planet Earth. So I think that intuition is something that is within us, and we do need to heal in order to find it, but we also can learn how to do that, because we've had centuries of not knowing how to tune into it. And so I think, part of my journey on earth is to help people uncover that, learn, and also organically find it within themselves.
I love that. And as a woman transforming the world that you are doing, just by helping each person find that gift or empower that gift in them, you really feel this will be our pathway to a world healing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because the heart has such powerful magnetic abilities, and that magnetism has been diminished because we've really sort of ignored the heart, for many, many decades. I would like to say even, sort of centuries, we've ignored the heart. We've let science, the mind, the cerebral brain take over. But we know that, there's power in the heart. There's power in the skills and the qualities that arise out of the heart, like love. And, certainly in the business space scale, people have relegated it and said there's no space here for emotions, and no space to talk about love and these sort of things. And actually, without it, we're not whole. And if we're not whole, we're not as productive, we're not as creative, we're not as innovative, and we're certainly not the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, that really is a breakdown in business where it's, I remember first starting out in my 20s, and my sales managers, I remember in a very strong way, alpha male way, saying, leave your emotions at the front door. When you walk in here, you're on.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. And who knows if your heart's breaking, what's happened to you that day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you are just a beautiful soul, a beautiful gift. And I love that this is your time to really help our world, the people within our world, because you're absolutely right. Something has happened where we've gone, I don't know if the word's cold, but we've forgotten to tap into, listen to that inner voice.
Absolutely. And I think we need to, because that inner voice is actually guiding us to our destiny. It's guiding us to our truth. It's guiding us to the wisdom, of how to live a truly whole and fulfilling and meaningful life.
Beautiful. Okay, we need to get a copy of your book, Hema. I'm thinking there's a few people listening right now that you're going, you're talking right to me on this. And because I know in your story, you give some steps on how we can really tap into that intuition or spark it up and make it come back to life. So where can we get a copy of your book?
So it will be available on my website, which is hemavyas.com.
So that's HEMAVYAS.com. So you go there, order from Hema, and I'm sure she'll sign it and autograph it for you with a special little message and send it off. Yeah, absolutely. Hema, you, as I just mentioned earlier, your true gift, and by you tapping into that intuition and allowing it to be front and center, is a very big deal. And it is what we need for transformation. So I'm hoping a lot of people connect with you. Go to Hema's website, check out, there's more than just a book there. It's all what she does as well. And if you want to be able to tap into who you are and bring to that forefront, you connect with her. Very nice person. So, Hema, to wrap up our conversation today, I mean, you've given us so many gold nuggets to take away and things to think about. What are some final words of wisdom that you would want to leave with a listener today?
And so I would say that, this book really is preparation for my next book, which is hopefully coming out this year. And it's The Silent Heartache of High Achievers. People who are born with a purpose, people who are here with a knowingness, they're here to do something more, to bring the world back into a place of balance and harmony. And so it is the greatest gift that we can give to humanity, to be able to really heal that heartache. And I would say that, instead of pushing aside and compartmentalizing our heartaches, our disappointments, our hurts, we need to channel those into a place of power instead of the pain, turning it into a real space of power so that we can be the powerhouses that we need to be in the world, because the world needs each of us to step up. And I'm willing to do that by being vulnerable, sharing my story and putting myself out there like I am at the moment. And I invite everyone to do it in their own way. This might not be their path, but everyone to step up, because when we do, this world is a magnificent space, and we deserve to live in a beautiful, magnificent place.
We do, and you're beautiful. And thank you so much. Thank you for having the courage to be vulnerable and open up. It's not easy.
It's not easy. Thank you, Gail, and you're so beautiful too. And this journey's been amazing. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. Okay. Get to know Hema by visiting her website. It's www.HemaVyas.com. Go get to know her, connect with her, and definitely get on the list for that next book coming out. That sounds awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for joining us again today, Hema. And I want to thank our listeners for also joining us. And wherever you are in this world, we wish you a great day. Thanks for coming.